Good morning, everybody, for another fun episode of Undressed with Pol and Patrik, Little Snow White 90210.
Hey, Undressed bitches! I'm excited. We got a really fun guest in the Pol Atteu boutique today.
A fun, hot, sexy, young, sassy.
Yes, and this girl knows how to party. We know because we were
That's
hanging out
right.
with her at Oscars. Lakendra Tookes from Reality Checked on Radio Andy. We're all
Sirius
part of the
XM
Radio Andy
102.
family.
Radio Andy family.
Yes. And let me tell you, this Radio Andy family, we can all party, can't we?
That's right. We know how to have a good time.
We're all about it, that's for
it. I
sure.
love to have a good time.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Oscars night,
Yeah.
2024. We all got together.
Yes.
We were hosting the Charmaine Blake
Eighth annual gala. Eighth annual gala.
gala in Beverly Hills, and of course we had to invite this lovely young lady.
Yes, we did.
And her and her fiance.
Okay, sure.
Is it a fiance? wait, is it a fiance? I didn't know there was a boyfriend.
He is a boyfriend right now. He has not become a fiance yet, but he needs to hurry up because no ringy on my fingy means I'm singy. So he better hurry up.
How long have you been with Gabriel?
We met.
Well, I don't know if we should say his name yet because he hasn't put a ring on it.
He better hurry. I know he better hurry up. So for now, we'll just call him him.
Him. He's only
How long
a
have you
him.
met him? How long have you been with him?
I've been with him. We met in like March of 2020.
During
So
COVID?
We met right when COVID was starting.
Wow.
And I
Well,
would
he
say-
was in line at Smart Finals, so there was nowhere else to go, so they had to
exactly.
put each other in a cubby.
Pretty much. That's pretty much.
Are you kidding? You met him at Smart and Final?
No,
Oh!
I thought it was serious.
But we did have to have our first date at the laundromat because it was the only thing that was open. It was crazy times. It was crazy. Remember how crazy it was?
It was insane.
We didn't know what to think. Like when we first
Yeah.
met, we had a mask on. Like
Right.
we just didn't know what.
You
to
mean you
think.
didn't see his entire face?
Well, we met. Actually, we met on Bumble.
Oh.
So I knew what
okay.
he looked like. But we talked on the phone for probably like a month before we met in person.
Which was like
because-
COVID.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was almost like we started out kind of being in like a long distance relationship, even though like I was in Silver Lake and he was in Koreatown. But we couldn't.
Yeah.
It was like we didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even have a vaccine yet or anything. So it was a crazy.
And then did you
time.
quarantine together?
No, we did
Oh,
not.
you didn't?
No, because we literally met like at the end of March of
Okay.
2020. So just
Yeah.
as things were getting insane.
Yeah.
That's when we met. That's when we started dating. And
Wait,
things-
so when did you first have sex?
Oh my God, what a
Well,
question.
because if
I'm
it's
curious.
like that-
I'm
If it's
so
long
glad
distance.
my mom doesn't
He asked
know how
asked
to
when you had
log
first had
Well,
sex. I want to
like I
know
tell- it was
where you first had sex. Was it the laundromat?
No, it was not.
That would be insane.
You said it was
That-
your first date.
To have sexual
They
relations at
folded-
the laundromat during COVID, that would have been bold.
Well,
That
there was
would
nobody
have-
else there.
That would have been on the 6:00 evening news for
Yes.
sure.
Well,
That
That
it's-
been
that would have been better than what they were
madness.
putting on the 6
That's
o'clock
true.
evening news
That's
at
true.
that
The
time.
ratings would have been through the roof.
Oh my God.
But no, like so we took things really slow
Yeah.
because it was just a crazy time. We didn't know what was going on.
So
but-
when's the first time you got a dick pic?
Oh my God.
Well,
These questions.
Well,
Gabriel, him, I'm sorry.
him don't do that. Because I don't like that. I don't like a dick
because
pic.
nobody ever sends me any dick
I
pics.
send
They
you dick
always send it
pics.
to him. Yours,
Yeah.
but I'm
You gotta
talking
get
about
out there.
other people that are.
You want to get now America and the world.
Do not send my
Paul
husband
wants some
dick
dick
pics. Oh my God.
You know what they send me? They send me thumb pics
A thumb.
because
of the
when they
coffee
do their
reading.
thumb,
Oh.
they send me their
Take
thumb.
the camera a little down south,
Ah!
a little further down south. Why don't you?
Something. So we
Oh my
didn't get a
God.
dick pic. We were in a
Right.
long distance relationship. We were wearing masks, and we met. Our first date was at the laundromat, and we're still together.
And we're still together. Yes.
This is amazing.
Wow.
We get
And you
along
do live
great.
together now, right?
We live together now.
Okay.
And we love living together. And
Yep.
it's great. We're just two happy little boring people, and we're just together all the time. And
He's a lot of fun, though.
He is
yeah,
fun.
really
he's a
sweet
sweetie
guy.
pie. He's a great guy.
Wait, what's his sign?
He's a Pisces.
Oh, you got a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. And your sign?
Taurus.
Oh.
My birthday's May 20th. I have the same
Girl, you
birthday as
control
Cher.
everything.
I do. Yes. And I have the same birthday as Cher, and it is one of my dreams that me and my birthday twin Cher, we will celebrate our birthdays together one day.
You heard it here first. Cher, please dial in.
Call me Cher. Yes.
She'll probably be on another one of her never-ending. This is my final tour.
Oh, great! I love that.
We've been to 3 of her final tours.
I love it. I hope she has one more. Have one more final tour Cher.
Why not?
Right? Have you seen her in concert?
I've never seen her in concert.
She's so good.
Her or Madonna, and I wish I would have gone.
Oh my God, we've seen Madonna too.
I've never seen Madonna, and I should have gone to see her because I've loved Madonna ever since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
My mom used to play. So my mom had me when she was young, so my parents were always young and cool. So my mom would always be playing Madonna and Cyndi Lauper. So I need to see Madonna.
Girls just want to have fun.
Yes.
Okay, so where are you from?
Okay. I'm from Georgia.
Oh.
Okay.
But my father was in the military, an Air Force brat. So when I was a child, we moved around just about every 3.5 years. That's why I have
all over the world, or
yes, like we were a lot in the Southeast, like Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, and then when I was like in the 6th or 7th grade, we moved to Misawa, Japan. So I lived in Japan.
Oh, Japan!
Oh my God.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa, moshi moshi.
I love
Yeah,
Japan.
I love that.
Very
It
cool.
was really interesting. You know, I think it's a great way to grow up. Being
But what a
military
beautiful,
brat.
what a beautiful way to have opportunity to be able to learn so many different languages, cultures, and see the world from a different lens.
Yes.
My brother and I were really grateful that that's how we got to grow up because all of my cousins, like, you know, they're from Georgia. They've never really,
And
you
they're
know,
still in
left.
Georgia.
They're still there,
Wow.
you know. And my brother and I we're the only two that kind of like left, you know.
Yeah.
Like he was living here, he just moved back to New York, and then I've been here. Like all my adult life, I've pretty much lived in like L.A. and New York, and there's this little part of me that wants to live someplace normal because I'm low key kind of a little basic bitch. Like,
But you lived in Florida too, right?
I lived in Florida. I went to college in Florida.
Okay.
And I lived in Orlando right after I graduated.
Yeah.
And I was working as a mortgage broker. And I was so stressed. It was terrible.
Honey.
It was terrible.
Honey.
We were cold calling people, trying to get them to give us their social.
You're one of those bitches that call me all day.
Yes.
Delete,
I was
take
a
me off your
telemarketer.
list.
Oh, it
There
was
is a
terrible.
class action lawsuit against those people now.
Yes,
There
it's
is.
probably the company that I used to work for. I'm sure because we used to put people in some messed up loans.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. We used to falsify documents. I kept tweezers and a glue stick in my desk drawer because I might sometimes have to go because my boss was like, whatever you got to do to get the loan closed. But it was very
Right.
stressful for me. 'Cause, you know, I'm a very sensitive woman, and
Yeah.
I don't like to lie to people. You know, I'm a good
Girl,
Christian
could you get me
girl.
a loan now?
I don't know. Look, I don't think you want the loan from me because we used to put people in some messed up loans. I mean, we were the reason why there was a recession in 2008 because it was a crazy, crazy time.
Yeah.
And I hated my job. I called my dad one day in tears because I always wanted to move to LA. I always wanted to be an actress and all that stuff. I
Yep.
called my father one day in tears and I said, Daddy, I just want to move to LA. And he goes, okay, so when do you want to go? I'll take off work and we'll drive. And that is exactly what we did. I told him yes.
But then how were you a newscaster? Because I read that you
Well, that's what I
did my
did in-
deep dive and I saw you were a newscaster.
Yes, well, I did that in college.
Okay.
I went to University of Florida. We have a really good, like, kind of broadcast journalism
broad-
program.
Yeah.
So I did a lot there. And then after I graduated, I was supposed to be a reporter, but I wanted to make money. That's why I became a mortgage broker.
Got
I
it.
still made no money because I was terrible at it. I'm a bad liar.
You put the tweezers and the
Yes, even with all
Post-it
my
notes in the rough.
falsifying of documents, I still couldn't get a loan closed. It was terrible. But
How long did you do that for?
not long, maybe
Okay.
like 6 months,
Oh,
or
okay.
8 months, not
Okay.
long
Thank
at all.
God you got out
Wow.
when you did, because they would be chasing you
I
down
was-
the streets.
I was stressed. I could
yeah.
not wear mascara to work because I would cry all the time, you know? So it was a crazy, crazy time, but it brought me, you know, eventually I made my way out here to LA.
But then how did you make it? Because I'm so curious now.
Okay.
How did you make it from Florida to New York for Saturday Night Live? I
Okay.
mean, that is
Now,
awesome.
Let me tell you the Saturday Night Live story.
Yes.
Because, okay, when I was a little girl, I was always like a class clown, but it never dawned on me that maybe one day I would want to like do comedy or people would pay me to be funny. That never really dawned on me.
You were doing it for free.
I was doing it for free. Yeah, I didn't know anybody would
You
want
were
to pay
giving
me
the
for
goods
it.
away.
Giving the goods away for free. Ladies, don't do that. Don't give the goods away for free. Now. But I look at Snow. I put Snow White to sleep. Snow White, she's over me. But So I always did a lot of improv. I started doing improv when I was in college.
Okay.
And so you do these improv shows, and you dream that maybe one day Lorne Michaels will happen to be sitting in the audience and invite you onto the show. Well, I was doing these character showcases, and they told us at my improv theater, SNL will see this. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. So I just did my thing.
I've heard that before.
Exactly. So I just did my thing, and
were you in one of the sketch comedy classes or anything?
Yes,
Okay.
like my old improv theater, Improv Olympic, IO West.
Oh, yeah.
They also have Improv Olympic in Chicago.
Okay.
So I did my characters. Then all of a sudden, I get a phone call. No, first I got an email, and in the subject line it said SNL. I thought somebody was playing a dirty trick on me. I was like, what? And then they called me and they said, we want you to. They had an audition. They were specifically looking for black women.
Okay.
Which I didn't even know that until I got there. And then I saw nothing but black girls. I was like, it's all black girls. I was like, hey girl. So then I did my thing. But there were like girls there that Tiffany Haddish was there, like people that I recognized.
But also, this was before because SNL was notoriously known for not being diversified.
Yes.
They did no diversity on their teams at all.
So this was a big deal.
Yeah.
They wanted to bring some black women in,
right.
You know, because especially black women, there haven't been a lot of black women associated with SNL. Well,
True.
It's getting better now. I like to think I helped pave the way.
I love that.
But so I did that here in LA, and then they called me and said, will you come to New York and do a screen test? At the time, I had never been to New York. I'm just a country girl at heart. I am a country girl. Fried chicken, biscuits.
From Georgia.
I'm from Georgia.
I love it.
I grew up with
Even though you've been halfway around the world, I'm from Georgia.
In my heart, I am a Georgia girl.
You're a peach.
I'm a peach. My grandma used to hang the sheets out on the line outside.
no.
Like that is how I grew up.
I love that.
So I went there, and when I was a little girl, my mom always loved to watch like all these old shows. So that's why I have all these older references in my mind.
Like, what were your favorite older shows?
Oh, the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Dick
Oh my
Van
God,
Dyke,
love
I
that.
Love Lucy, Carol Burnett, Laverne and Shirley. I wanted to be Laverne. I wanted an L on all of my shirts when I was a kid.
What a great show.
So when I was a little girl, my mom bought me these Gilda Radner paper dolls. When I was like 4 years old, Gilda Radner paper dolls. So when I went to New York to do my screen test, I did it, and I had already talked to some other people who had auditioned before. They were like, don't worry. If you don't hear laughter, don't worry about it, you know, because they sometimes don't laugh. So don't let that discourage you. So the guy who was holding the boom mic, I said, I'm going to give my all to this man with this boom mic. I'm going to make him laugh.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I said,
give me some
somebody got to
energy
give
back.
me a chuckle. I need something.
Yeah.
So I did my screen test. I didn't have an agent, a manager, or anything at the time.
Yeah.
They asked me to stick around for the rest of the week. The next day, I got to meet Lorne Michaels in real life.
Wow.
I know.
He is an
True.
icon.
Yes, it was amazing. It was a really amazing experience. It opened a lot of doors for me. It was a short-lived experience. I wish I could have been there longer.
Why did they keep you long?
Tiffany Haddish got the gig.
That bitch.
No, actually, Tiffany Haddish went on to do things even bigger than SNL. Actually, myself and Leslie Jones, we got hired at the same time. We started on the same day. We were hired as writers. Another girl was hired to the cast, but Leslie Jones and I were hired as writers, and I was not asked back the following season, which was very devastating and traumatic for me. However, you know, that's the way it goes. You know, sometimes.
But how did you deal with that when you were not asked? Because you get on the biggest thing, like SNL. That's like a lifelong fucking dream. And then they don't bring you back the second.
You cry your fucking tears.
I got to tell you,
You cry your eyeballs out.
I did not handle it well. Because I don't handle rejection well.
Yeah.
And it really hurt my feelings, and I was really sad. And you know how sometimes there's like that little devil that sits. I'm sure there's sometimes you're not good. You're not good at fashion. I'm sure like you get those little voices in your head. I had a little devil sitting on my shoulder telling me.
No, I've never heard that before.
You never heard that?
Well, not about fashion.
Well, I had a little devil sitting on my shoulder telling me, you're not that funny. You're not la 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 la. And so I had to eventually.
We all have these insecurities.
Yeah, I had to really work hard to get over it and to just move on. It's like, okay, that didn't work out. One door closes, another one will open. You have to always remember that. And that's a lesson that I needed to learn at that time.
Yeah.
And it was a hard lesson to learn. It was painful. It was sad. I cried a lot. I could not watch the show for a very long time.
But that's because it's an opportunity that you feel is going to propel you into the direction that you've just dreamt about, and you never thought that could be something that could be reality in your life. And then all of a sudden, when you're there and you're giving it your all, you're thinking to yourself, well, why not me? I'm
Yeah.
already here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got
And
two
what
sketches.
can I change?
Yeah, and I actually got 2 sketches on the air. Like my first week, I got a sketch on the air.
Yeah. That's
You
amazing.
know, so and yeah, so and I mean, I love to perform.
Of
I love to do a
course.
Did
bunch
they
of
tell
different
you
voices.
why they weren't bringing you back?
Of course not. They never do.
Yeah,
just,
they did.
They,
We're going in a
You're
different
not.
direction.
No, but, and
It
then
hurt
they'll
my-
tell you, but you're still part of the SNL
SNL
family.
family.
well, give me that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Let me be a part of the
Amen
family.
to that.
Where's the
Amen
accounting
to
department?
that.
That's where I
right.
need
Where's
to be.
payroll?
Exactly.
So do you remember?
How many people have like shot a whole like scripted pilot and then they say, you know what, we're gonna go in a different direction. They
Yeah.
did that with Full House. You know, Bob
Yes.
Saget wasn't the original Danny Tanner. It was another guy.
I
And
know.
he shot the whole pilot. And then I read his story because like I was like, who else has this happened to?
Yeah.
You know, it's happened to a lot of people. So it's like you can't take it
I
personally.
think it happened.
But what about the
to
twins?
everyone.
Ashley and Mary-Kate Olsen. They weren't even the kids picked. They weren't even going to the audition. They
They
showed
just
up
happened to be in the room.
with a friend who was
Wow.
auditioning with one of the kids
And
to
they hired
audition.
those kids.
And they're like, "Oh, no, we want the twins."
Wow.
And
They-
now they're bazillionaires
I
because of that
know.
show.
But
Yep.
to think everyone has a different journey in
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And you have to realize, I think God has a plan. Higher powers at B have a plan for us
Absolutely.
that we don't understand
Yeah.
all the time and gives us what we're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Like some people's strengths are maybe making money, but they're miserable for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Maybe some people's plans are relationships and they have strong relationships and family dynamics and friendships that last the test of time.
Yep.
Some people are all about being single and they're not supposed to find a pair and they thrive on the way things are. And maybe we don't understand it and we always want things that we don't have. So that's where I think the dilemma becomes complicated because we're
Yeah.
like, well, but I deserve it too.
Right.
I want it too.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, and I'm so glad you brought up the Lord, because y'all know I'm a good Christian girl.
Yes.
But, you know, there's a verse that I really tried to, really try to apply to my
Connect
life.
with, yeah.
And it's trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not on your own understanding. And I think that that's really
Yeah.
important to always know that maybe if one thing didn't work out, you just never know. You just have to
You
really
don't.
trust
Yeah.
God, trust the universe, and trust that everything is always going to work out in your best interest. And that's what I just try to tell myself.
How long
Even-
did it? Because you were doing stand up back then, right?
I
when
was
you're doing
doing
SNL?
stand up here and there.
So how long did it take you after you didn't get asked back to SNL to get back up on that stage and say, "Fuck it, I'm ready to do this"?
Well, let me tell you. Oops, sorry, I don't want to
next
mess up this
morning?
pretty. Listen, that's the week that I found out that I wasn't being asked back.
Yeah.
I was already scheduled to perform at Just for Laughs Montreal.
Oh.
And then
Oh.
on my flight, my former SNL bosses were on the same flight
Oh
to
my
Montreal
God.
with me. And I'm like, really? What did
Well,
I
how
do
much
to
more
deserve
do you
this?
wanna
I know,
just
I'm
rub
like,
this
what
in my
is this? You know? So
Oh.
it was really hard, but you
Yeah.
know, the show must go on. I
Of
still had
course.
to go out there and smile and do my thing. I mean, it was really hard. It took some time for me to really like feel comfortable and feel funny. And also, it's embarrassing to feel like, you know,
Yeah.
like it's such a big deal and then there's so many people that are so impressed by that. And then to feel I kind of felt like a loser for a little bit. Like I wasn't a loser, but I felt like one. So it was a lot. It was a lot. It was hard. One day I'll write about it in my memoir. But
I mean, J-Lo was on SNL.
where was she on In Living Color? She was
Living
one of the
Color.
fly
Living
girls.
Color. She was a fly girl.
She was a
Fly
fly
girl,
girl back
that's
in
Wrong
the
show,
day.
Paul.
Sorry.
But no, it's like, you know, it happens. It happens to so many wonderful, talented people where sometimes it just doesn't work out. So it's like, I think that's really the lesson that I had to learn. Like, don't take it personally and just know.
You know, here's the crazier things that I've seen. I'm in the fashion industry and I've been forever.
Forever.
Forever. But the fact that so many other designers have done so many different, and we all have a different journey. And even as a designer, you can create beautiful gowns that some people will never see.
Yep.
You can create beautiful gowns half the people will see. You can create beautiful gowns that you become a big name and everybody hates.
Yep.
So everyone has a different story and a different journey, and you have to recognize whatever your strengths are. You have to play to them in whatever capacity you've been given and
Exactly.
thrive.
But it's also very crazy. Like we needed the dress for Carrie Underwood. The stylist came. She picked out like 5 dresses from here. And then I remember we were taking the dresses out to her. And she opens this van and she had like
At
30,
least
40, 50
yeah.
dresses they were taking to Carrie Underwood to pick and his got picked.
Nice.
But I remember for
and you
3
have- and you-
days I was on pins
I
and
know.
needles.
And you have anxiety until
yes.
the call comes in.
Oh my goodness,
That
the anxiety.
and it's not even so much that you're in competition and
No.
you don't need it, but you're like, well, why not me?
Right.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, yeah, that was gorgeous. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course I knew. And then you get picked, and you're like, yeah,
yes.
You're just excited.
Yes.
But it's
so it's
nuts.
hard.
It's hard.
It's hard
It
to
is
connect
hard.
with it because we live in a very, very altered universe.
Yeah.
Altered universe.
Even
And-
when you're doing different award shows, the stylist will come, they'll pick up dresses, and we don't even know sometimes if that dress is going to make it on the Oscars, make it on the
golly.
Grammys, make it on the Emmys.
Last
And we're like
minute.
sitting there waiting,
yeah,
just
so
like
much,
nervous.
so
and
much
stuff.
happens last minute.
Yes.
Backstage. I mean, when I did the gown for Betty White,
Ugh,
and then
Amazing.
here she is walking up on that stage, and I'm sitting in the audience
Yeah.
with everybody, and I'm like,
Wait a
that's
second.
my friend.
Yeah.
Girl, you get that trophy.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh my God, that's my fucking dress.
Yeah.
Like you get so excited in a whole different way because you connect with the artist. You're friends with all the people. And I think my friendships mean so much more than my friend wearing my dress.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
at this point in
Absolutely,
my
yeah.
life, do I need anybody else to wear my dress?
I mean,
I'd
you've got
like
every
for them.
A-lister, Bella Thorne,
I mean,
Carrie
I'd
Underwood,
like
the
them
list
to
goes
wear
on
it,
and on.
but is it going to change the course of my life? Not so much. But am I happy for my friend, no matter what it is, for them to get the
Yes.
accolade that they're there
Yeah.
for?
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
But it's also too, like I remember some really big moments, I think, in your career are when Anna Nicole was on Kiss FM with Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, who are you wearing? I'm wearing my best friend, Pol Atteu. And we heard it on the
I
radio.
wake up to that.
And that was fun.
Yeah. And it makes it all worth it.
It
Yeah.
It makes
all
all
worth
of
it.
those moments where you're on pins and needles and you're stressing out and you're ready to pull your hair out.
Yep.
And then when it works out, it is worth it.
I
you
mean,
know?
And do you know Patrika Darbo from Days of Our Lives? She's the redheaded.
Yeah, well,
plus-
yes, and I saw her
She
on an
has-
episode of Gown and Out.
Yeah,
I
she
watched
was.
episode 1,
And it
and
was
she used
the-
to be on Step by Step.
Yes, she was on stage. You're
With
right.
Suzanne
I
Somers,
love
yes.
her. And we, it was so funny because on national TV, the best thing she ever said, and I think this is the coolest thing,
That was
I have to thank my designer, Pol Atteu, or my dress is going to self-destruct
On
and
the-
fall off me.
that was
amazing.
her Emmy acceptance
was-
speech.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
That was
That's
nice.
amazing.
I mean,
That
to
is
think that,
sweet.
Yeah.
see, those
See?
moments, and
Yeah.
then alongside all the rejection that you get, but guess what? All those rejections, I feel like, make you stronger.
They do.
And it identifies a way for you to be able to curate
Yes.
your journey moving forward in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, I often tell him, I go, I can't believe this person did this gig. They're known for that. Like Sound of Music. Somebody
Yeah.
else was going to do it. Julie Andrews is known for
I
Sound
know.
of Music. You can't see Julie Andrews doing anything other than Sound of Music.
Right.
Mary Poppins.
But,
The Sound of
but
Music,
but
definitely.
it's so
Yeah.
insane.
It's iconic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
it really is.
insane. And then just and shows that you never thought were going to end up being a show that become the biggest thing. Like I Love Lucy was only on for 6 seasons.
Yeah. And it's
And
still, it
Forever.
lives on.
The Brady Bunch.
Oh my gosh, I was just
I
watching
love
the
the
Brady
Brady
Bunch a couple
Bunch.
weeks ago.
Right?
I was watching the one where they're all grown up and where Marcia becomes an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was like, Marcia, no.
and then to think that even SNL has an impact on the way the course is for you.
Yeah.
And who knows if they're not going to be calling you back one day and you'll go back and you'll
Yeah.
go,
Do you write your own jokes when you stand up, or
Oh,
not?
yes. I write my
You
own
do.
jokes. And I feel like I don't really write jokes. I tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I really know, I make everything funny. Like
Yeah.
with me, like I'm always on, I'm always da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm always ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Like I can't help it. That's just kind of the way I am.
Yeah.
That's why I have so much fun on Reality Checked because, I'm like, first of all, it's all about like the Housewives and these
Mm-hmm.
terrible reality shows. Like it is not meant to be taken seriously at all. Like this is,
And you do impressions.
I do lots of impressions.
Who's your favorite to do?
My favorite right now is Sutton Stracke.
Miss Sutton
Sutton
Stracke.
Stracke. Avi, where are my white trousers? I love Sutton Stracke. Well, I was having brunch with a friend the other day, and he was like, I can't stand Sutton. I hope this is her last season. I said, no way, because my Sutton impression is good. I need Sutton to stay on so I can keep on impersonating her. And, you know, she's from Georgia like me.
She's our friend. She's a friend of ours.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we love Sutton. I
love
was just
her.
with her. We were with her
My
a week
little
ago
Satina. I love
at
her.
the Abbey. A man that girl can drink.
Well, us Southerners, we love
that
a
what
nice
it
stiff
is?
drink. Oh yes,
She
sometimes
doesn't-
we'll
but
be
see-
sipping a mint julep on our way to church.
That's the thing, though. See, a lot of people talk about drinking. She doesn't drink. She sips.
Oh, is that what Lakendra was doing at the Oscars gala night?
Yeah.
That we had to
She was
three
sipping.
people to put her in the car and take her home?
She was sipping.
I was sipping and
She was almost passed out in the lobby.
Let me tell you, I was sipping and slipping because Gabriel made a little video of me, and I was my breast decided to do a little peekaboo. I had a Tara Reid moment. I was like, oh Lord, he had to get
Tara
me
Reid,
again
a Janet
moment.
Jackson, and
Yeah, I
Anna
had to-
Nicole
yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Hilarious.
So many wonderful
Many
ladies
of them bitches.
They paved the way for me to have a nip slip.
That's right.
So
That's
I had a little nip
hysterical.
slip, and you know that's okay. That's the way it goes sometimes.
In
but,
the lobby.
In the lobby, you know, passed out in the hotel lobby.
Well, honey,
that's the
that
way it
lobby's
goes.
seen a lot
It's
worse.
seen worse.
A lot.
It's all good. Yeah.
Now, how did you get onto Reality Checked?
Okay. Now, my journey with Reality Check
Yeah.
actually began years and years ago.
Okay.
A wonderful comedian by the name of Amy Phillips used to host
Love
Reality
Amy
Check.
Phillips.
Love her so much. She
Yeah.
is a mentor of mine. She's actually one of my idols. I think she's so funny.
Yeah.
And she's
She's
just
a
a
sweetheart.
great lady. She's a great lady.
Absolutely.
She's got a beautiful daughter. She's got a great husband. And, you know, I feel like there's so many funny ladies who are single or like just like, or like sadly single, like looking for love
yeah.
and can't find it. So when I meet like a funny girl who has the things I want, like a husband and kids and a family, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that because it
Yeah.
makes me feel like
Yeah.
it's possible.
It's possible.
So she used to have me on as a guest sometimes, and that's how I got to know Alyssa. That's how I got to know some of the people there.
Ah.
So I think, I'm not sure exactly when she left Reality Check, but then they had been like kind of auditioning
But you were a
people.
regular guest on.
She'd had-
Because you were
yes.
doing impressions of Housewives, right?
I
On
was.
reality-
Well,
yeah.
guess what Amy
Yeah.
does?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, she'd have me on just like, you know, we would just chit chat and just talk a lot of smack about
Yep.
these housewives. And it was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, when they were looking for new people, Alyssa called me up and said, would you come in for a week? And I said, sure.
Yeah.
And then, so they kept bringing me back for week. And so then now they're doing it where they're having these rotating hosts, and
Yeah.
I'm on every Wednesday. Every Wednesday is Ken.
The same thing like Jeff Lewis Extended, we do Fridays. And they have a group of hosts that do Monday,
Chumps.
Tuesday, Wednesday, chumps basically. And then we do the Friday show, which we love it. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I love it. Like,
But you do it by yourself. You don't bring a guest on or
no,
anything.
I'm all by myself. I mean, my first day, I was really scared because they didn't really prep me a lot. Were
And they
like,
don't
"Hey."
give us a script.
Yeah, no. So I was like, I wrote all my stuff. I mean, I write all my stuff, and I'm pretty much reading it like a teleprompter, and I've got all my little stuff there.
Yeah.
And my producer Christina, I look at her for validation because I feel like she's a really honest.
She's like your
laugher.
audience.
Yeah.
Yes. So if she's laughing, I know I'm doing something right because I know she's not going to give me a pity laugh. I don't
Right.
want a pity laugh. Like I
Right.
want you to only laugh
Like
if
a
it's
belly
funny.
laugh, like a real
Yes.
proper belly laugh.
Yes. So when she's laughing, I know we're having a good time, and I love it when the people call in. Sometimes people just call in to say, "Oh, Kendra, I love you," and I'm like, "Great! If you want to just call and tell me you love me, that's fine."
Please
But,
call in.
Yeah, but we're having so much fun.
And you do
Nice.
Vanderpump Rules.
Right now, yes, Vanderpump Rules. I'm also watching this terrible show called Seeking Sister Wife. It is terrible.
What
Seeking
is that?
Sister
It is
wife?
these people who they want to start polyamorous relationships, or they're already in polyamorous relationships, and they want to find another sister.
Honey,
wife.
we can barely figure out the two that we are. Like,
I
shit,
know.
I don't need any more relationship
What are
issues.
your favorite reality shows?
Down and Out in Beverly Hills?
Well, that's number one.
Besides Gown and Out,
You watched it.
ladies
You
and
liked
gen-
it?
I did. I watched it, and I love your theme song. I thought your theme song was really, really cute. I like the music. It's
Thank
like
you.
well produced.
Thank
Like,
you.
Kudos to you.
Persiana Dulo, she's in Dubai.
Dubai
She
now.
sings it and produced the song with us.
It's
and
really
she's
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
Really cute.
Yeah.
But I am hands down, huge Housewives fan. I love the Housewives. I grew up with my grandma watching her Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
She called her soap operas her stories.
Yeah, my mom too.
The stories.
Yeah.
So the Housewives are my stories.
I love it.
And it's also kind of my sports.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we all have our favorite housewives. It's like, okay, your favorite teams and your favorite franchises. So, yeah, I love the Real Housewives. I've been watching it since it came out. So, like, getting paid to talk about it now is really just like,
So
do you watch
perfect.
all of them, all the franchises?
Just about. I didn't really get into the Real Housewives of Dubai, but I know that they're
we
coming
know all
back.
of them on there.
Really,
Yeah.
they're coming back for a second season, so
Yeah.
I need to get into that one. I did watch Caroline Stanbury when she was on Ladies of London because
funny.
I like to see first of all, I like my housewives to be rich. I do not like a broke housewife. I do not want to see a housewife.
So who's
driving
the broke housewives?
Gina in the OC.
Oh, Gina.
Poor
She's our friend
Gina.
too. Sorry, Gina.
sorry,
She's a real
Gina.
estate agent now.
Well, hopefully she won't be broke anymore.
She's a working girl.
Good. Well, her style improved last season
lot.
and the season before. She looked great. But back in the day, I was like, "What is this child wearing?" She had one track over here, an earring over here. I was like, "What is going on?" Because I like to see them be rich.
She's
like,
got
Yeah.
12 kids.
That is no excuse. If you are the Real Housewives, you got to have it together. You got to be looking good. You,
You
got
gotta
to have
have
your
staff.
catchphrases. Like, because my favorite housewife is Nene Leakes. I love
Oh, yeah.
Lanithia Monique Leakes. I love her. I quote Nene Leakes probably every day of my life. I love her so much. I like them to be rich. I like to see them go shopping. I like them to have that little crayon at the bottom that tells how much things cost. I like them
Yeah.
to put their Hermes bag on the table, and then I want to know, how many thousands of dollars was it? I love that. I love Lisa Vanderpump. I want to see them pull up in a Rolls Royce.
Yes.
I love that. I like them to be very aspirational. Now, at the same time, I like to see a housewife grow. Like Gina. Gina started out broke and a mess.
Yeah.
Now she's doing great. She
Now
looks
she's got a
good.
job
She's got
and
a
a
job.
mess.
Please have a job.
But we always talk about, Paul and I always say that the best housewives ever were the first couple seasons of Beverly Hills.
Beverly
Hills.
When Adrienne Maloof pulls out her private jet,
Yes.
gets out of her rolls,
Again,
goes up to her jet.
You're rich.
But she's
I
our
want
friend,
you to
so
be
we
rich.
see that's her real life.
Yes.
And that to us
Yes.
is very aspirational.
Yes.
And that's what I like to see. I'm like, I don't want to see no broke bitches. I go outside to see some broke people. I go to Ralph's.
My neighbor.
Yeah, my neighbor. If I want to see somebody broke, when I turn on my TV, I want to see some fabulosity.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Even if you got to fake it till you make it and you end up in jail like Teresa. You
But
do
it
what
paid
you got-
off for her.
It paid off. You do what you got to do. you
Well,
know?
she lost a husband all the way to Italy.
She did,
I
but now
know.
she got this new one. We'll see.
But
I
do you think that the house like these they break these couples up so badly?
You have to have a really strong relationship or it
have
will
to.
ruin you, especially if you get your vows renewed on the show. That is a recipe for divorce. Everyone who's gotten their vows
Everyone
renewed,
says that.
they get divorced the next season.
Everyone.
So
That's
don't
Bronwyn.
Braun went, oh girl.
She had her vows renewed and came out as a lesbian.
It was
But she's
too-
happy now.
I hope she is, because it was just too much for me. I was like, Braun, when you got 15 kids, you're a lesbian. It was just a lot going on.
OC ain't the
I
prince
think it
of
was a
beauty.
lot going on too quickly. It could have
Yes.
been dragged out over a couple
Give us a
seasons
couple
at
seasons.
least.
It's like out the gate, like bam, divorce, bam, lesbian, 15 kids, pregnant. I still lactate. It was a lot.
What about every time I see Sweet James now, I just see stacked pussies.
Yes.
Stack of
oh
vaginas.
my
I cannot
God.
look at that
I
man's
can't.
commercial.
I see his commercial
Oh.
come on, and I'm like, all I think
can't.
of his
I
wife.
see a billboard and
and
I'm
two
like,
women
all I see is
stacked up.
stacked vaginas.
Oh my!
No, Ella, I can't.
I cannot.
No, Ella.
I didn't even know what it was until you had to show it
Paul-
to me.
I
Paul goes
said-
to me, he goes, "What is she? What
What
does
is
she
she
mean?
talking
Stack
about?"
of vaginas."
I
So I pulled
said-
the picture up and I showed him, and he goes, "What?"
I
I
can't.
said, Noella, she's biracial, bisexual, and buying her husband some hookers. That is what Noella was doing. And, I was not, because she was trying to play the whole, I'm the first black Real Housewife of OC.
Nope.
But I'm like, girl, why don't you have any black friends?
I know.
You ain't got no
Yeah.
black friends. You're so
Yeah.
black,
Where's my
So
phone?
I was never really.
I'm embarrassed for him every time that commercial comes on.
I know. Like, there's just no way I'm going to hire him to be my lawyer.
Why would you, right?
No.
It's crazy. Like, we were going to do some plastic surgery. It was really funny. We were filming in the OC, and we had booked everything. We did everything. I won't say who the doctor is, but we had filmed for an entire weekend at this beautiful hotel. I took him out to dinner with the wife, everything. The surgery was scheduled for 2 days later. We come back to Beverly Hills, and then we get all these DMs because we had said it on the radio that we're going to be getting plastic, with this doctor, that 2 patients died. He killed 2 patients on the bed.
Oh my God.
So Paul's like, there is no fucking way we can.
I don't care if it's
we
an
can
accident
go.
or I'm not going.
We're not taking a risk.
It's not worth it.
So we canceled the surgeries.
Yeah.
Which I felt bad because he was a really nice guy, but then
Okay,
we were
so-
like, we couldn't anything we filmed the whole week couldn't use because
Yeah.
because of that. So it gets crazy because sometimes the reality is really reality.
Yeah.
Like Vanderpump Rules, you do Vanderpump Rules every
What's
week.
what's your best part about Vanderpump?
Okay, on Vanderpump Rules right now, we are still living in the aftermath of the Scandoval. So,
Yeah.
and I get a lot of callers that are like, oh my God, I'm so over Scandoval. But I have to remind them that when this filmed, this was still very fresh for the cast, like
Yes. Yes.
when this filmed.
Yeah.
So, it's on their mind. Like, I think it all went down. We just had the 1-year anniversary of Scandoval. It all went down on March 1st. I think they were back to filming like June. So not much
Yeah.
time had passed.
Right.
And it was a big deal. It was big. But I love seeing Ariana winning, and so many women especially were saying, "Oh, why does she deserve all this? We've all been cheated on before." And I said, "Well, what if this is the new normal? What if the new normal is for a woman to be cheated on and mistreated, and then afterwards she gets to live her best life? What is that? What if that is the new normal
Yeah.
for women? What if you get cheated on and then boom, you get to be on Dancing with the Stars?
Please cheat on me.
But isn't
Right?
this the show is they all cheat on each other.
They all cheat on each other.
So like I don't
Yeah.
understand why do you think Scandoval blew up to be this huge thing?
Well, because we had seen Ariana really kind of take Raquel, whatever the child's name is, really kind of be like a big sister to her.
Do you like her?
Who, Ariana?
Rachel.
To me, it's like what's to like, what's to not like.
We've
To
seen
me,
met her many times over the years.
I've never met her.
Yeah.
She just to me seems kind of just like whatever. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, milk
Do you think?
toast.
Do you think
like,
it
whatever.
was? Do you think it was a mistake for her not to come back to Vanderpump?
Yeah, she should have came on back.
Yeah.
She should have came on back, but I don't know if it would have been good for her mental health. I don't know what.
Well,
it
if
would've
it's
been
not good
hard.
for her mental health, why does she keep talking about it every single
Every
day?
day.
It
Yeah,
made
and
it a
then
part of
there's
her
that.
life.
And then there's
Yeah.
that.
Why is it still part of your life when it's something that you do not want it
Because
to be
she
part of your
needs
life?
that money. She needs the money. Everybody's trying to
So-
capitalize off this.
So
Yeah.
first she needed the money, so she hoarded herself out to every single Vanderpump cast member, sucked a dick,
Pretty much.
and then decided to take mental health and ask for a big number that Lisa Vanderpump said, I don't think so,
Absolutely not,
bitch.
darling.
And then she
Do that
decided,
impression again. I love that. That was good. She does Lisa
Absolutely
Vanderpump.
not, darling.
and then she decided to only talk about Vanderpump
Yeah.
because she
ain't got
needs
nothing
the
else going
money.
on. Let's
Do
keep it
you
real.
think-
What else does she have going on besides this?
But do you think Vanderpump Rules is gonna last another season? Do you think it can continue going at the momentum it
They've
is
got
going
to
at?
add some new people to the cast.
Yeah.
They've got to, because otherwise we're just kind of spinning the drain on this Scandoval thing right now.
Isn't it still Scandoval? How many weeks in? 8 weeks in, and it's still Scandoval.
Still. I honestly, on the show last week, I was like, I can pretty much just use my same notes from last week, this week, because it's always the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying it. It's still fun. I mean, it's still entertaining. Like, what else are we going to do? Yeah, of course, we're still going to watch it. We love the show. We love the characters. This show has been on. This is its 11th season.
I know.
We've watched the Vanderpump Rules cast really grow. I mean, they
Yeah.
used to all be so broke. They were all in those terrible apartments. Now they've all been able to afford homes and
Yeah.
nice cars. Like,
Yep.
It's really nice.
Second
I'm really proud
homes.
yes, I'm really proud of that. I'm like, yo, get that money. Do
Yeah.
what you got to do,
What do you think about Lala Kent being pregnant, announcing her pregnancy?
God bless her. I
Yeah.
don't know who the daddy is. I'm like, that's my first question.
Does she know who the daddy is?
I don't know. I don't know.
No.
I think she had talked about maybe going to a sperm bank.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she did.
If that's what she did,
Yeah.
great. I think it's great. Have baby. She's got the money.
Yeah.
So have a baby. Yeah. She's only got the one little girl.
And I think she
So-
wanted to do it while the other one was young enough.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I mean, I love babies. So
Oh, you're gonna have a baby?
I want to.
Oh, how long? Wait, how long have you? So you and Gabe been together since Gabriel, right? Since it's 2020.
Yeah.
Living
so
together, how long now?
Living together since August of
Oh,
last year. So it's
she
about
needs
that
a ring,
time.
Gabriel.
If any jewelers are watching, yeah, I do. It's about that time. I got to get a ring. He's got to, get my father's blessing because again, I am a good Southern girl. So he's
Yes.
got to get my daddy's blessing.
Did your parents
and-
like him?
They do. It's not that they don't like him. It's just my parents, even though I'm of a particular age, my parents are still very involved in my life. I speak to them just about every day. And they do, my parents care a lot about me. They love me. They just want the best for me. So they have their concerns, but I also tell them, like, hey, trust me. I know what I'm doing. I'm a smart girl. We've all dated some duds.
Right.
However, I think this time around, I made a good choice.
But coming from the South, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna say it. Are they he's a white boy? How are they that's got to be your parents are from the South.
How would Sutton tell you in the Sutton way what your parents are thinking
about dating a white boy?
Well, honey, does this white man have some money? What's his net worth? I need to know what he's got in the bank. What's his credit score? Let's look him up right now. Yeah, that's because before you give your daughter away, you want to make sure she's with a man who can provide for her. You know, and I mean, my brother, I have a younger brother too, and my family, they think so highly of me. My brother literally told me, he's like, I always pictured you with someone like a Jay-Z, and I said, really? Wow. Well, I have never met Jay-Z, and I've never had a Jay-Z type really take an interest in me. For whatever reason, I've always really attracted white guys. It's not like I necessarily want them, but for whatever, I'm telling y'all.
You're the Kim K of the black world.
I guess so, because I always say I could literally be in Kenya and some white man gonna find me. They find a sporty one. They find me.
Wait, have you always dated white boys?
Well, I will date. I don't care about the race.
You don't care.
I don't care about the race. I'm a military kid, so I've been raised around everybody. So I literally don't care about the race.
Yeah. But coming from the South, your parents must be like, what is she doing out there?
It's certainly not their favorite. It's not what they would have chosen for me.
Yeah.
And I do
But they want someone who's loving and caring and nurturing and understands you.
And I got to say,
the more important
Oscars gala, he's really attentive to you.
He is.
He loves you. He was like really taking care of you. He's a sweet guy.
He is.
He was holding you up, covering your boobs, making sure you were slurring your words.
Yes.
He was proud.
Taking the video while your boob popped out.
Your boob popped out. He was so supportive.
Yeah, he is supportive. Yeah, I needed some support that night while my boobs popping out. I clearly didn't have a bra on. But like he's just a great guy. I love being with him.
Yeah.
So I need my parents to understand. If you logged onto the internet, Mom, they need to just understand, like, for me, like, I know who I am at my age now, and I know what I need. I need somebody who's going to just love me and take care of me, where I can be myself, be free, That's the most important thing to me.
But that's the whole idea of a relationship.
Yes.
When you want someone that's nurturing and caring about you, the same way you are back to them.
Yes.
But you're also learning and growing and feel safe when you're around them.
Yes.
And it's not the color, it's not the age, it's not the height, it's not any of the other things that are bonuses should you end up with multiple different areas that really are connected to you. But the main thing is you want to be happy and feel safe to Netflix and chill.
Yes.
Or in our case, Amazon and chill.
Yeah.
And just be part of the harmony of knowing that there's someone there.
Absolutely. I have two last questions, and we're going to do some hot topics. Travel. You've traveled all over the world. How many countries have you been to, and what's your fave?
Oh my goodness, I don't know how many countries I've been to, but probably my fave. I really loved Ireland. I was in Ireland not last year, but the year before. I loved Ireland, and I feel like Irish people are black. Their energy is like, I saw a little Irish child who had she was maybe like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
She had on little gold hoop earrings and a little gold chain. I was like, okay, this little girl, she got a little sassiness going on. I felt so comfortable, and it was so green, and Georgia's very green.
Yeah.
So I was telling my dad, I was like, when we were driving through, it kind of reminded me of Georgia. So I really loved Ireland, and I love France. I love France, and I love Amsterdam. And when I was in Amsterdam,
all three places.
This woman came up to me and just started speaking Dutch to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an American. And then she just started speaking English to me, but I was like, did she think I was Dutch? I was like, do I look like a local? Because I don't ever want to look like a stupid American when I go anywhere, But I felt so honored that, like, she thought I was Dutch.
Yeah.
I was like,
Where in Ireland? Did you go to Dublin?
Yes, we were in Dublin, and then we were in this little small town right outside of there. But I loved it there. Oh, and I loved London too.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I leave, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am a proud American.
Yes.
However, every time I leave America, I love it. Every time I leave the country,
Well,
I'm
because
like,
you're getting to see culture and experiences that we
Yes.
don't have here.
and I'm telling you, I will go to another country. I don't even have to speak the language. I chat with everybody. I
We do
start
too.
chit-chatting.
We make so many
I
international
start
friends.
holding people's babies, and
Yep.
I'm just like, mm-hmm.
That's Paul.
Yeah, so, okay, yeah.
Our friends own
and then
Balik-
leave it there and then get out.
Our friends own Balik Castle in Ballina,
Ballina.
Mayo,
Bellina.
in Ireland, and we've gone, and it's amazing.
It's like the castle from the traders.
Oh my
It's
god,
like a castle.
it's
castle.
like a huge
working
castle. Yeah,
We lived there.
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Beautiful.
beautiful.
I
It's
love
called
that.
Balik Castle.
I need to
It's
go
awesome.
there. I think I belong.
Okay,
So you've been
yeah.
there for about
Okay.
2 years.
Yeah, for 3.5 fucking years.
Oh my god, that's funny. You've never had this done before.
I've never had this done.
I'm excited for you.
Interesting.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. You have a couple of trips planned for yourself. One trip is not going to happen.
Oh, God.
You're going to be really, really upset at the reason why it's not going to happen. Because you're going to think to yourself, what the fuck, of all the trips, this is the one that I never thought to even not think that it wasn't going to happen because of this.
Wait, what trips do you have planned?
Oh, we just have one trip planned next month. We're going to take a cruise. That better happen.
Well, that's going to happen.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I got some,
Where are you
okay.
going? Anywhere fun?
We're going to go. God, is it called Cozumel? Are we going to go to
Cozumel,
we're going
yeah.
Or are we going to go to Ensenada?
Ensenada.
Ensenada.
That's fun.
Y'all know I'm a country girl.
You'll see
But
the,
there's another trip.
There's another trip. I don't have
that's
anything
coming
planned
up.
yet.
There's
but
another trip
Okay.
that you're going to be upset to think that it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So watch for that.
Okay.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
You have something that you've been wishing for a long time. And you're almost
She's shaking her head, yes.
You're almost feeling to yourself, this is the right time. It's going to happen. This is when it's happening now. And whatever, because there's been a challenge that's, or not so much a challenge, something's been holding you back. And you felt that this holding you back wasn't really going to sustain itself much longer. You had to shed something. You had to eliminate something in order for you to feel like you could move past it.
You're
What
smiling
was-
so big, shaking your head.
what
You know
was
what this
that?
is.
Well, I've had
Because this happened a few years ago.
I've had a lot of almosts in my career. I've had a lot of things almost work out that didn't work out, and
Okay.
I do feel like I'm in my winning season right now. I feel like I'm in a season where things are going to work out.
Yeah.
Because all I've ever really wanted was to work,
Yeah.
and have a lovely man in my life, and eventually have a baby. So I've got a lovely man in my life. I am working, and I do feel like I'm on a great track. And I think the thing that I had to shed was my fears. I have a lot of fears that I struggle with.
Yeah.
And I sometimes, I won't turn this into a full therapy session, but I have allowed them to hold me back in the past. And I honestly, I've been praying and I've been really conquering my fears.
Yeah.
Because the last couple of years, it seems like you've been putting yourself in a different position to jockey for things in a different way. And you're not waiting for people to call you, but you're initiating conversations.
Yes, I am.
Maybe going after things more.
I am.
Yeah.
'Cause I used to be really afraid. And I mean, I don't know if that's imposter syndrome of like me sometimes feeling like, oh, wait, I don't like to ask people for things because I'm like, oh, do they want to hear from me? But then I kind of switched that in my brain where I'm like, you know what? People want to work with me. So if I reach out to somebody, they're going to be happy to hear from me. Like I just kind of like switch that around in
Yeah.
my brain. So
And if they don't want to work with you,
F 'em.
fuck them.
yeah, move on.
I love that.
Yes.
Fuck them.
Yeah, so I'm shedding my fears and my anxieties. I really like all my blocks.
Yeah.
The things that have held me back throughout the years, I'm really working hard to shed them so that I can achieve everything I want.
Who have you lost?
I love that.
Who have I lost?
Yeah. Who's the one person that you lost that you feel that you were so connected to that you miss very, very much?
I had a friend that we had a falling out and we haven't spoken in a long time. but we had a falling out. This was a few years ago, and I do miss her, but I'm kind of nervous to reach out to her because I don't know if she wants to hear from me. But that's I have one friend that was a good girlfriend.
What's her name?
Her name is Janicia.
With a J?
Is that her? Do I need to call her?
That's the part I was reading.
Is that a J?
Right there.
Oh my God.
On the cup?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I might need to reach out to her.
That is a J.
That's why I was asking.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It was actually like on my mind to reach out to her too.
Wow.
And but I was kind of like, oh, I don't know.
How long has it been? Because
It's been a few years.
Because for whatever reason, she has reached out to you once before.
We had our falling out. We reconnected for a little bit, and then we kind of like lost touch again. But I should reach out to her.
She is going through something.
Okay.
And I don't know why, but it's almost as if she needs a friend.
Okay.
Like a real friend.
All right.
How long were you friends?
A long time. Years and years and years. Yeah, we had a little.
How bad was the falling?
It wasn't that bad. I mean, she felt that I wasn't there for her when I should have been there for her, and she's right. I wasn't there for her when I should have been there for her.
Yeah.
And if I could go back in time, I would do things differently. However, I would love to be there for her now. It's like, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you the way I should have been then, but I would never make that mistake again.
But you learn, you grow,
Right.
you understand, or you identify with different parts of what life is. And maybe even if you were going to be there for her, you didn't know how to be there for her.
Yeah. That's the
Because
thing
you couldn't
sometimes.
identify what was going on, or you weren't in a position to be able to give so much of yourself that you
Right.
instinctively didn't even know what it could be.
Right, because
Yeah.
this was during the pandemic. The pandemic really did have an effect on me, because I literally, right before the pandemic started, in February of 2020, I shot a pilot presentation for something that was supposed to be fantastic. Like, we were so excited about it. And then the world ended. And then, so I was very sad.
Yeah.
And I felt like a major loser. Like, I felt like such a loser.
Yeah.
And when I feel like that, I do shut down, and I don't like to bother people. Like, if I'm having a rough day, I just kind of keep to myself, because I'm always people are always surprised to hear that I have anxiety or that I have like dark days, because I'm always so happy and I'm always so on.
Sure.
So when I do have those days, I really shut down and I keep to myself. And I think that sometimes people think that I don't want to talk to them or don't want to be
Communicate or
friends with them,
whatever,
and
yeah.
it's like, it's not that I
Right.
don't want to, it's just I can't
Yeah.
talk to anybody right now. Like, I'm having a moment,
You think she would be receptive to you?
I certainly
Reaching
would.
out.
I might just show up at her day.
This podcast is brought to you by Herdat Media and American Media Television. Executive producers are Patrik Simpson, Pol Atteu, and Pat Safford. Produced by Jordan Hill and Sarah Silikula. Shooting and editing by Jordan Hill. Music by Digital Camo. Artwork by Dominique Demetz. And hosted by Pol Atteu, Patrik Simpson, and Little Snow White 90210. Remember to follow at Pol Atteu and at Patrik Simpson and at Snow White 90210, and watch Gown and Out in Beverly Hills on Prime Video. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode.